Sari Anggita. I'm from BBA-HRM and here as a cameraman and editor.
Hello guys, my name is Bella Alita and I'm from BBA-HRM and here I'm as a film presenter.
Hi, I'm Masadul Rahman and I'm from BBA Marketing and I'm one of the presenters of the film.
Hello, my name is Khalifa Saidi. I'm from BBA-HRM. I am as presenter of the essay.
Hi, my name is Flanerry and I'm doing BBA in Marketing. I'm one of the scriptwriters in this project.
Hi, I'm Sanallah Rida. My program is BBA-HRM and I am one of the scriptwriters and narrator in this project.
I'm Jamal Hussain. I'm doing BBA Marketing and I'm the one of the scriptwriter in this project.
Hello, I am Sayyid Isa Ruhullah. I'm a BBA student and a scriptwriter in this project.
Hello everyone, I am Shalahi from BBA-HRM 405 and I am the scriptwriter for this group project. Okay, we are presenting the reflection of our group project named Literary Project, in which we analyze the literary work and reflect the commonality and differences across various themes in different voices of the writer. Okay, first of all, what is the term literature? The term literature refers to both written and spoken material. It included the work of creative imagination such as poetry, essay, poems, and in some cases drama, journalism, and songs as well. Our literary project included 4 literary works in the world literature. There are 2 essays, Goodman Braun, written by Nathaniel, Harthrown, and Goodman is Hard to Find by Flanerry, O'Connor. And there are 2 poems parts of our project as well, which are I Fear a Flanerry in My Brain by Dickinson, Emily Dickinson, and My Last Duchess by Robert Braun. All of these essays and poems represent various themes and the other utilize various literary devices to explore the themes. Our project was to analyze the themes in the light of 5 questions which included elements such as plot, narrative, literary devices, and comparison between the 2 essays and the poems and the core value as well.
Hello guys, I'm going to give you a short description about the story called A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flanerry O'Connor. This story based on third-party point of view and around the grandmother. This story begins with the preparation of the family to the road tour and end on the road.
We will show a short video about the climax of the essay.
Grandmother was shocked because her family is already killed by the misfits. She's trying to escape and she thinks that the misfits will let her go. But she's wrong.
The central theme of this story is about the good and evil and the possibility of the divine grace. There is another special and important character of this story called Misfit. Misfit portrayed a representation of the pure evil. One of the specialties of this story is the uses of irony and foreshadowing. The emergence of Misfit and the death of the family is early presented with the divine grace. From the Catholic viewpoint, the grandmother inclination about selfishness and evil, it means that it have never experienced without God's assistance. The grandmother has traveled from this path, from spiritual blindness to pain to ultimate grace. think suffering is an important component to receive grace. Through death, the grandmother is not only the recipient of this act of grace, and this starts to weaken the viscous egotism of the misfit. Okay, thank you for being part of this presentation. It's a short analyzing of the story called A Good Man is Hard to Find.
Now we are going to do literary analysis on the story Young Goodman Braun. So this story is written by Nathaniel Harthrown, and in this story we follow the journey of Goodman Braun as he succumbs to the corruption of his wife and has an encounter with the devil.
We will show a short video about the climax of the essay.
On his way in the forest, Goodman Braun suddenly met someone who turned out to be a devil.
Hey Braun, let's follow me. I have something special for you.
No, I'm not interested. I don't want.
However, he saw all people he knows is following the devil, including his beloved wife. He's trying to save her, but suddenly he is alone. Going back to his house, Goodman Braun never trusts people again. Including his wife.
Hawthorne uses personification as a figurative language to create symbolism in the story. For example, Goodman Braun personifies the individual quest for faith as something that everyone must face in their life. One of the themes of the story is the inconsistencies of public morality, which reveals the corruptible nature of Puritan society and the dangers of placing too much emphasis on outward appearances rather than inner values. Another theme in the story is the fear of the unknown, which leads to delusion and temptation to give in to darker impulses. The loss of innocence is a significant concept in the story, as the intrinsic corruptibility of Goodman implies that the loss of innocence was inevitable, whether the incidents in the forest were true or not. Hawthorne uses foreshadowing to create tension and provide hints about the plot's trajectory, leaving the reader wondering what will happen next. Young Goodman Braun also has elements like romanticism and allegory. The romanticist message of the story is to encourage the readers to consider the impact of their actions and to strive for self-improvement, while allegory uses symbols to portray human trait and circumstances. As Goodman Braun faced the challenges of faith, corruption, and fear of the unknown, he ultimately must confront his own loss of innocence and the complexities around him.
The plot of the poem is that the author imagines a funeral is taking place inside her brain, and she also feels the mourners pacing back and forth. And Dickinson used a variety of figurative writing style in her poem to illustrate a mental breakdown through the uses of the funeral metaphor. She also uses simile and personification, which, like the phrase, service like a drum, and comparing being to ear, giving an abstract idea at least one fundamental human characteristic. Moreover, sound devices such as alliteration, assonance, and consonance, and poetic devices such as stanza, rhyme scheme, and repetition are utilized in the poem accordingly. Other devices used in the poem are enjambment, irony, imagery, and symbolism, and so on. I felt a funeral in my brain describe the author's insanity, and the speaker loses herself in the chaos of the unconscious, and the reader experiences the author's descent into madness, and the dread of that most of us feel when we think of going insane.
Hello guys, on this occasion I would like to present about the poem literature which is My Last Duchess. Actually, My Last Duchess was written by Robert Browning, and it was highlighting about the Duke who has a portrait of his late wife to the talk with a delegate of the total where the daughter of the Duke intends to marry. And the Browning also used a figurative language style, which is to illustrate the true scene from Victorian era. And you know, this is a great illustration of ironic dramatic monologue of his contemporary reputation that is mainly focused. For instance, the second line of the poem, which is looking as if she were alive. In this case, the Duke tried to compare his late wife to a living person. To a living person, which is a use of a simile by using the word as. As we can see, the same usage of other device in the poem, like I felt funeral in my brain, is that Dickinson used quatrain, which is a type of 4 stanza borrowed from Persian poetry. And then the Browning used iambic, which is a type of meter that have 5 iambs per line. Besides that, My Last Duchess also used an objectification of woman, which is the author's perspective indicate that women are object to be dominated on, not treated equally with men, and even they thrown in the trash. Hello, my Sudur.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fine. By the way, I want to ask you about the main theme of the poem, which is I felt funeral in my brain. Do you know it?
Yeah, let me explain. In the poem, I felt a funeral in my brain. The writer, Emily Dickinson's main theme is death, and she objectifies the death through a narrator who recalls her own death and not simply imagining a funeral that she is viewing and hearing from a distance. It feels literally as if a funeral is occurring in her head, in her brain. So, can you tell me My Last Duchess poem?
Oh, okay. I think in My Last Duchess, the Browning also same. He presents the theme of death from the privileged perspective of the Duke, and then also the structure he show that the Duke's focus quickly, shift from the grief at her death at the first time of finding a new mistress to satisfy him, and it's frequently in the same one. Yeah, I think like that.
Okay.
Wow, I think the main thing is interesting, but I'm very curious about the poem. Can you recite the poem, please?
Yes, sure. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to kept trading till it seemed that sense was breaking through. Okay, Bella, can you tell me the last poem, My Last Duchess?
Yeah, sure. I will recite it. That's my last Duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that a piece of wonder now. Fra Pandol's hand wisely a day, and there she stands.
As BBA students, it was unexpected to study literature, but by the end very fruitful and beneficial for us. We studied 4 pieces of literature, 2 essays and 2 poems, which contained many valuable moral lessons, values that could be very much beneficial to anyone. And also, in terms of figurative speech, the viewer tasked to find out devices, theories, etc. Stories and poems are tools that humans use to express their feelings in a much more deeper way, thoughtful way, and also to ignite thoughts, thinking, and deeper meaning for the readers. And with this also comes lots of benefit for us to study. We understand more in terms of how to speak more meaningful, how to write more meaningful, and in a deeper way. This helps a speaker. When a speaker is able, as more able he is in terms of literature, more poetic he speaks, he will attract more attention from the audience. The literature pieces that we worked on are many, and I will share some of the lessons, the moral lessons that we reflected upon. Goodman Braun. Goodman Braun is an essay that talks about the gray area that exists, and there is not always, things are not always as they appear. There is a other side, and usually when people try to very show off as good, they turn out to be not so good at all. There is an evil and darker side in the shadows. I felt a funeral in my head, in my mind. This is a poem that talks about and how someone loses the grasp of reality and dives into the madness. My Last Duchess, another poem, the writer talks about the situation of women in his time and in a very deep way, which has the value of rights, justice in that sense. A good man is hard to find. Goodman is hard to find, focuses on the values of honesty and selflessness, which in the story the grandmother is the opposite. She lies and she is very much selfish, which results in consequences that are fatal for the whole family. In this project, we worked together, we shared ideas, things that fascinated us, we helped each other, and we also got mesmerized, and these stories and poems ignited thoughts within us, which are very deep and meaningful to us. Thank you.